a serious one with a Rocksteady crew coming out. I'm not going to tell you what's on it, but...
And you're moving with the sound of the Fabio Kiss 100. Listen it good. Champion Bubbler sound.
100% jump on Kiss 100 tonight with Fabio. Mind how you go.
Back again, the time's 9 o'clock, and ready to rock till 11 o'clock. It's Fabio taking you through for the next 2 hours. Yeah. Kicking off, Metalheads. Might be the next single, Angel. From last year, still sounding fresh in today's environment. Something from last year, the Roughage Crew, due to be re-released for 1995. That's going to be a lick in January, definitely. And a big hello going out to Goldie, and well-deserved success for Inner City Life. Also, better big up Max and Dave. Yeah, Max. Cool. Remember them guys from the old days? Remember Team Westwood and them guys? Yeah. Easy. It's Fabio, through till 11 o'clock. Playing you the best in beats, bass, jungle, whatever you want to call it. Also sending that one out to Jason, the engineer. Big up Jason. From the Metalheads into an outfit from Coventry, Essence of Aura, and this is a little thing called What's on Your Mind. Right, be giving you a little gig guide later on. I might be getting on my soapbox about a few things, especially a certain jungle show that was on telly not too long ago. It's Fabio anyway, till 11. Keep it kissed, keep it locked. Right, I've got my David Copperfield hat on, so the headphones ain't really fitting too neatly. That was Essence of Aura. What's on your mind? Tearing the aim and break to shreds. Later on, we've got stuff from Dillinja, Photek, LTJ Bookham, the Groove Rider. All sorts coming up in the next hour and 45 minutes. Remember, it's Fabio through till 11. This one's going out to all the Steppers crew. Especially going out to the Inter crew. Danny, Pete Nice, Flux, and the rest of the Norbury Massive. This is Dillinja, a 19-year-old. And this is a track from about 6-7 months ago, Steelers Anthem. A touch of hard step bass for the masses. Dark and devious. The music for the 90s, as the Face or ID magazine will put it. That's the Steelers Anthem from about 7-8 months ago, from one of the futurists, a man called Dillinja with the new funk lick. And that one's going out to Dillinja and all the Steelers crew from my end, South London. More from Dillinja coming up a bit later. In a minute, it's time for Kiss to make some money. Back after that with something from Adam F. Right, we were going to have the ads, but we're going to have it after this one. This is Adam F. Enchanted. Thing by a guy from Birmingham called Adam F, with a little hint of jazz. That's called Enchanted on the Pure Jungle label, out now with the Hand of God on the other side. Right, we are going to take the break, the ads after this one. We're going to come straight back with two versions of Inner City Life, Unreleased daily.
Not yet. Across the city limits, across the metropolis. Kiss 100, listen to style. Boom, original.
This one's going out to Jason, Inner City Pressure. Inner City Pressure with a different flavour, different style. This is the Nookie remix. Check this out, a little bit different, a little bit left field, but tearing all the same. Versions of Inner City Life that deserve to be out on the streets. Firstly, Nookie and his techno lick of Inner City Life. You can tell I was struggling for something to say there. And also Four Heroes, jazzy mix of it. Excellent, excellent stuff. I've got to remind everyone, this coming Friday, Furore Groove Connection presents at Bagley's. That is going to be a stormer this Friday. And DJs include myself, Groove Rider, Mickey Finn, Ray Keith, Kemi and Storm, Brian G, LTJ Bookham. Also in the house room, Paul Trouble Anson, Dominic, Phil Asher, and Roy the Roach. Excellent, excellent lineup. That's this Friday, 2nd of December. Furore Groove Connection presents. Don't miss it. And I've got to send this one out to my cousin Sharon. I'll get lynched if I don't mention her. Also my little niece Chanel. Big up Chanel. Also mum and dad, you know it. It's Fabio, through till 11. Time is flying. Ads after this one. The hidden agenda is this love. Bunch of guys from Newcastle. And I like that tune so much. After the ad breaks, I'm going to play it again. See you after this.
Rougher than Schwarzenegger.
Back once again. And if you're looking for somewhere to go tonight, check out the Vox down there in South London for a London something. outfit from Newcastle called Hidden Agenda. Watch out for them in 95. They've got enough tunes. And that's one of them, Is It Love, coming out on Black Wax Records. The tune actually reminds me of lying down on a beach with the one you love, that kind of thing. Until you remember, it's not too long till Christmas and it's freezing outside. That's the way it is. It's Fabio till 11 o'clock. Playing you the best in beats, bass, jungle, whatever you want to call it. It's music for the future. Forthcoming, Moving Shadow, the mighty foul play from Nottingham, proving it is not just a London something. And this is a thing called Total Control. Check out the double bass on this one.
Total control. Total control. Total control. Total control. Total control. control.
Love that tune to death. That is Foul Play, coming face to face with the future, and that's Total Control, coming out of Moving Shadow, maybe end of February, something like that. You're gonna have to wait a little while for that, but that is definitely tearing. And if you want to hear music like that all night, the place to check out on a Thursday night is the Milk Bar down there opposite the Astoria. Myself and LTJ Bookham playing you the beats, the bass, the future. So if you want to check that out tomorrow night and each and every Thursday, that's called Speed at formerly the Milk Bar, now called Mars, down there opposite the Astoria. And I've got to send that track out to the mighty Groove Rider and all those that are attending Mickey Finn's little surprise celebration for his birthday down there in Blackheath. Nice one, Mickey. How old are you now? Probably about 55, I'd say. No, that's a little bit. But anyway, happy birthday, Mickey. Nice one. Got to send this one out to my partner down at Milk Bar on a Thursday, the LTJ Bookham. This is a little thing called Faceless from New Visions. Gonna have more ads after this, lovely. And back after that with something from Dillinja later. That's a tune called Faceless by New Visions. The future of music. Right, we're going to take another ad break. And after this with something from the Dillinja. Something from the Dillinja, Useless, and that should be coming out next year on IQ Records. Of course, remember this Friday, of course, it is the Furore at Bagley's, featuring myself, the Groove Rider, Mickey Finn, Brian G, Ray Keith, LTJ Bookham, Chemistry and Storm, and Jumpin' Jack Frost. That's this coming Friday. Also in the house room on that one, Paul Anderson, Roy the Roach, Dominic and Phil Asher. So the best of both worlds there. So don't forget that one. Get your tickets quick because they're flying. I'm talking about flying into the next thing. That was a good link up. I can see Jason smiling. Essence of Aura coming next. Carlito's Way. Check the jazz piano breakdown on this one.
Nigga, rougher than Rambo, sounds of the infamous Fabio.
Got to send that one out to Stas, Tom, Dave, and Sam. The Gunner's massive. That's a big yeah to you guys. Also something in, saying a big hello to Sean. And that's from the Rhythm Station crew in Aldershot, and that's coming from Rich. Essence of Aura. And a bit of tribal jungle there. Carlito's Way. And a big hello going out to James and the rest of the crew down there in Coventry. 3 minutes past 10, proving it's live. And 20 seconds to be precise. Another 57 minutes left. Got a lot of things to fill in, a lot of music to play, a lot of things to say. Fabio on Kiss. excellent tune with a little kind of soul-y, jazzy flavour. That's a little thing called Strictly Jungle, and that is coming out on the TMR label. A big yow going out to the engineer Helen for that one. Excellent tune. And that one also is going out to Danny Inter, because I know you like strutting your stuff to that one, Dan. And also a dedication here to Darren and DG Massive. And that's coming from Helen, I think, and the Banbury Massive. DG Massive. Good name. This is Fabio, through till 11 o'clock. Having a laugh, playing music. Doing something I love for the Kiss FM. I'm going to take some more ads. Back after this, I'm going to get romantic and slushy with the 4 Hero.
Rougher than Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, if you hear some clicking about in the background, men at work, that kind of thing. This is 4 Hero, Universal Love, going out to anyone who's in love at the moment. Also going out to the baby cat. From me, you know you are. Don't need to say anything more than that. Time's flying by, gonna try and fit in loads of stuff before 11. Also, we might have a special guest appearance soon. I know the red Merc is tearing down to Holloway Road as fast as he can. You know you are. Bringing it rich in flavour. 4 Hero, and I think if that one's released next year, I think that could do some serious damage. A remix from Goldie coming very soon on that one. A big hello to Digo and the rest of the 4 Hero crew. Got also say hello to Mr. Leviticus, the Jumping Jack Frost, also Brian G and the rest of the Hill, massive. Right, one more and then the ads. Once again, something coming up from the legendary Doc Scott. The Doc Scott and something forthcoming on Metalheads. And that's a little something called Far Away. I think that one will be coming probably mid-January or mid-February, something like that. I've got to say a big hello to Calvin down at the ILC. And that's coming from Tony from Clacton. And a big hello to Tony, and I'll see you tomorrow, mate. And also a big request to Stuart and John and the Woken crew, and that's coming from MC Greavesy. I wonder if that's the Greavesy from like Funny Old Game sort of thing. I doubt it. But anyway, that one's going out to the Woken crew, Stuart and John, MC Greavesy. Pause for a cause. Back after this with something from Photek.
100% young on Kiss 100 tonight with Fabio. Mind how you go.
係啦，我哋爭主席 owner。 This is 100% confirmed lineup for Jungle Mania's Christmas Jamboree. Groove Rider, Fabio, Randall, Kenny Kane, Hype, Rap, Rocky, Ray Keith, Mickey Finn, Youngin, Ash Attack, DJ Ash, Andy C, Nicky Blood Market, Stevie Opa, and myself MCMC. Plus 3 exclusive PAs from the labels of Suburban Bass and Movie Shadow. Jungle Mania on Saturday the 17th December at the New London Astoria.
Get mash up.
Get swamped down with the best of jungle. Yes, the best of jungle, featuring 42 killer tracks on 4 CDs. With Baby D, DJ Rap, The Dubster, DJ SS, DJ Solo, A-Zone, DJ Gunshot, Remark, and just too many to mention. All these on 4 CDs for under £12. Best of jungle, the price is so low, you won't believe it until you see it.
On Friday the 9th of December 1994, Virtuality Promotions proudly presents Nights of the Underground Part 2 in conjunction with In the Name of Love to be held at Bagley's Film Studios, Goodsway, King's Cross, N1. Arena 1 DJs kicking it live with drum and bass will be Loxy, Kicker, DM Cut, Profile, DJ Rake, Slipknot, Chemistry and Storm, Neil Turbine, LTJ Bookham, Fabio and Randall, MCs to include Rage and GQ. Arena 2 In the Name of Love brings to you the best in house and garage with Steve Brim, Mark Anthony, Get the Core, Paul Gordon, Jazzy M, the Two Amigos and Jim the Music Man. Arena 3 Old School Classics with a Bang On It crew featuring DC Armstrong, DJ Bex, Jamie Ashwood, DJ Barker and MC MV. The price for this astounding night will be a mere £12 more at the door. For more information, 0850 0554447 or 0956 560 775. Friday the 9th of December, Nights of the Underground Part 2.
Our junglists, listen up. Drum and Bass Selection, the original and best jungle series, is now touching down with volume 3. It's 20 of jungle's roughest rhythms brought together on double album, double CD and a mixtape version by DJ Hive. Drum and Bass Selections 1, 2 and 3, the essential selection.
The original article jungleistic bombastic style of the Fabio.
Them MCs try to get in everywhere. Whoops. touch of fusion there by the mighty Photek from Ipswich. Got to say hello to Rupert and his young lady. Nice one, Rupert. I'll probably see you tomorrow. And that one's due for release at probably beginning of February. Reminds me of my Winkle Picker days. I think Groove Rider remembers them days as well. Catch Whiskers and all that. Yeah. Excellent tune. Something forthcoming on Formation Records. This is the Rider mix of United. Got to say a big hello to SS, Idris and the rest of the Formation crew. Remember, it's Fabio, Kiss FM. Got another half an hour, enough tunes to play. Quite a lot of things to say. And do remember, if you want correspondence with Kiss, if you want to drop us a line, I'm short-sighted, Jason. I can't see from there. Right, lovely. Listeners' letters, Kiss 100 PO Box N7 8BR. If you want to drop us a line, 100 PO Box N7 8BR. Later.
Not yet. This is the Fabio.
Groove Rider remix of SS's excellent United, and that one's a stormer. And that one's going out to Rob Playford and the rest of the Moving Shadow crew. Got to also say a big hello to Brad down there in Nottingham from Foul Play. I'll be giving you a call soon, mate. Yeah.
Forecast of a 21.5 billion PSBR for 1995-96.
Something from about a year and a half ago by the Ronnie Size. That's a little thing called My Music. A tune that was never ever released but was way, way, way ahead of its time. Remember, you're listening to Fabio on Kiss. I'm joined in the studio by the mighty, mighty Rider. And he might be saying a few words later if I can coax him into it. We've got about another 15 minutes left, enough tunes to try and fit in. Something else coming up from the Photek. And remember, this Friday, the 2nd of December, the Furore at Bagley's. The best of both worlds, house and the beats. In the beat section, myself, the rider, Mickey Finn, Ray Keith, LTJ Bookham, Kemi and Storm, Brian G and Jumping Jack Frost. In the house room, Paul Anderson, Dominic, Phil Asher and Roy the Roach. That's Bagley's this coming Friday, the 2nd of December. Don't miss it. Dangerous tune. The man from Ipswich, once again, the Photek, and a little thing called Panic. Right, another 15 minutes, one more tune, and then the ad break again. Something coming up by Mr. Reese, and you can catch that on the Hard Step album on Kicking Records by the Mighty Rider. And I've got to send that one out to Randall and the rest of the crew down there in the Underground Records Forest Gate. And something coming for Timmy very, very soon.